Have you ever paused to wonder if your life has been more of a performance than a lived experience? For many, the early decades unfold like a movie's opening, filled with drama, rushing scenes, and the unspoken pressure to act a part. There's a script you never wrote but dutifully follow. Excel in school, satisfy your parents' hopes, choose a career that pleases society, marry when the time comes, provide for your family, and on and on. In the commotion of meeting everyone's expectations, your own voice becomes a faint whisper, drowned out by the applause and criticisms of those around you. The soul that once looked at the stars and dreamed, that once spoke quietly to God or to the universe, is somehow forgotten in the race to keep up. But then, something curious happens around the age of 40. It's as if a door within you, closed for years, begins to creak open. A silent restlessness stirs, a longing not for more achievement, but for meaning. The world outside may see your first wrinkles or a slower pace, but inwardly, your vision sharpens. You begin to re-examine your relationships. Who truly knows you? Who only saw your outward role? Who stood by you, and who was only passing through? For the first time, life stops being a script and starts feeling real, raw, honest, and unfiltered. Society may tell you this is the time to rest, to be content with what you've accomplished, but your heart whispers, now the real journey begins. It isn't selfishness to turn inward at this stage, it's self-realization. Now, the need for approval dissolves, replaced by a growing acceptance of yourself. As Paramahansa Yogananda taught, the soul is bound as long as it chases the world's illusions. But the first taste of freedom comes when you listen to your inner voice. The years before were lived outwardly. Now, life turns inward. This is the threshold, the turning point where you can choose to step beyond old shadows and into the light of your own soul. It is here, as you slow down, that meditation and self-reflection find space to flourish. You become less interested in outward success and more drawn to silence, to meaning, to the peace that only comes from within. You begin to forgive your own shortcomings, to see beauty in your imperfections, to love the child inside you who once dreamed without fear. Life is no longer just a series of duties. It becomes a spiritual practice, a deepening awareness. This is the age when the soul's call becomes urgent, when loneliness creeps in, when old friendships fade, when roles and identities lose their grip. Don't be alarmed. This is the sign that you are being invited to journey inward, to discover the part of you that remains untouched by loss or change. The world outside will always shift, but what you find within is eternal. Now you learn not from books or others' opinions, but from your own silence. You connect not with the race, but with peace. You seek not recognition, but refuge in the sacred presence that fills your breath, your quiet moments, your gentle prayers. Every loss, every wound, every failure now becomes a lesson in compassion, in letting go, in understanding that you are not your possessions, not your achievements, not even your thoughts. You are, and always have been, a soul, pure, infinite, and whole. And when you reach this place, life becomes simple. The old noise falls away. In your presence, others feel peace. Your silence becomes a teaching. Your compassion, a quiet prayer for all souls. Now, you live not to become someone, but to simply be. You surrender to the flow of existence, and in that surrender, find the fullness of life. This is the awakening that comes not at the beginning, but when the outward journey is done and the soul is finally ready to come home. Here, in this gentle, silent space, you realize real life has just begun.